So today I wanted to get into something that's, I've kind of been noticing recently. It's kind of been bugging me. I don't know if you guys had this same experience, but when I was younger, I obviously I had a few friends. Of course, it's not not like I don't still have them now. Like that actually be really sad. But my friend group, we'd often play games and do stuff like that. And I feel like originally, when I was younger, a lot of the jokes and I guess memes or just bits in general would come from my friend group. It didn't like come online. It's not like something I saw on Instagram or TikTok or something I saw on like Twitter or something. But I feel like nowadays, a lot of the jokes that we tell or the things that I see or the people that I talk to all stem from this overarching internet culture and I guess just social media in general. I feel like, dude, even saying social media sounds like a buzzword. You know what I mean? But the truth is that, yeah, no, it really is a huge influence in the humor that at least young people, share today. Dude, I I remember the few weeks like after like Charlie Kirk got assassinated or whatever. Dude, it was just nonstop like Kirkification, Charlie Kirky, like all that kind of stuff. And dude, it was really funny, but it reminds me of like I feel like that's something that could like naturally brew in a friend group, but rather now that we, have such a huge internet influence, and a bunch of young people that, use social media, like I feel like Instagram is filled with them. Even though, Instagram has been around for a while, I think TikTok might be a little bit, more saturated with like younger people. But like I don't really use TikTok. I've actually never used TikTok. I've never even installed it once. I don't really know what it looks like apart from like seeing people talk about it on YouTube and stuff, or even seeing reposts of stuff on Instagram. And yeah, I'm just kind of thinking about, is this a sign of like a recession, urban decay? Like, what is this? I feel like jokes used to be original. They used to be, funnier and deeper. And now like a lot of things is just rot. And it's not like rot isn't funny. There's just so much of it. I feel like just everything, it just all turns into slop at some point. But hey, maybe it's a cycle and maybe everything will turn to originality at some point. But I really don't know. Something I've realized a lot recently is it's like the elephant in the room, okay? AI beams and stuff, especially AI songs like, for example, like EFN. Things like this are getting extremely popular and viral, and it's nothing like how it used to be, I feel like. Like everything was man-made. Well, of course it was, right? AI wasn't really a big thing back in like 2016 to like 2020. I mean, it kind of started up in 2020. You guys remember that? Like the Will Smith spaghetti edits. But yeah, I feel like, with this rising of accepting that a lot of AI generated stuff is funny. And I mean, I accept that in of myself. I embrace the slop. Like a lot of it is funny, but I feel like this will cause a problem, with humor in general. I feel like a lot of things will be just completely brain rotted. Like for example, like the elephant in the room, 6'7", whatever. Like, what does this even mean? What does this really mean? Like, we're making fun of a kid or something? Like, okay. Just, I don't know. I don't get it. And it's a lot of the stuff, it's getting to like normies and stuff. Everybody finds this funny. Normal people are finding this funny. Normal people are doing it. I remember I went into like a custom drink shop once and I saw one of the kids, well, not really kids, probably like 18, doing 6'7" behind the counter. And I'm just like in there, I'm just trying to get my drink. And I have Instagram brain rot infecting, my real life experience. And, that's what I'm kind of worried about with, AI and jokes stemming from online culture is it ruins the real life experience of having bits with your friends that are original and don't stem from any content that you've seen. Like, dude, the stuff back then, that was peak, And I'm not going to act like we didn't have stuff. Like, we had 69. That's only 2 numbers away from 67. Get real. We had 420. That was another thing, like the whole MLG stuff, smoke weed every day. Like, come on, guys. You remember that, right? I'm not going to act like we didn't have these jokes that stemmed from online spaces, but they were the minority of jokes that were told, right? Like, most of the stuff was always bits. But hey, maybe this isn't a bad thing. Maybe this is just, where humor is going. I don't know. Maybe this is just like a whole like nostalgia bait thing. It's like, dude, things used to be so good back in the day. Things are so bad now. Like, things are horrible. When, maybe that's not true. I'd like to consult that one VeggieTales segment where they're talking about how everything's going to be randomly generated and you're still going to laugh at it.
Not only that, but these guys represent the hosts of the future. Unlike us, their humor can be truly randomly generated. Right, guys?
Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know. Why did the chicken cross the road?
I drink soda, I eat pizza.
I'm gonna keep it real with you.
I drink soda, I eat pizza.
Maybe that's where we're going. Maybe that's the future. It's kind of seems like it's heading that way. It's when I see schizophrenia on my phone, I'm like, oh, this is pretty funny. Another day at the slop factory. This is pretty funny. Makes no sense whatsoever, but it's pretty funny. There's that saying that's been talked about a lot recently. It's you'll own nothing and you'll be happy. With like billionaire corporations turning everything into a subscription. How I like to see internet humor is you will eat your AI generated slop, your generated schizophrenia, and you will laugh. Honestly, at this point, I think I need to get like a brain scan or something to see how cooked my brain is. I haven't even been using Instagram for that long, but I just know that my brain at this point is absolutely cooked. And the thing is like Instagram does this on purpose. I'm going to assume probably TikTok does too, but it shows you a bunch of different reels, a lot of them that are going to make you laugh, but a lot of them that you're going to engage with and you're going to like comment, maybe because you hate it so much, maybe because it's just genuinely disgusting, maybe because it's genuinely shocking. A lot of it is just crazy engagement farming. And of course, people are going to want to farm engagement for clicks, views, money, whatever. And honestly, I think this is a big problem. People value internet clout above all else. I mean, even girls do this. Girls are more likely to date guys with higher Instagram followers. So it's like all of society values internet clout, internet interactions. It only makes sense for the memes to follow suit. And things that are like low effort, for example, like AI generated stuff, is going to succeed because it can just kind of be pumped out at such a crazy rate. Jesus, man, what did I spawn into? What is the world that I spawned into? What is the world we spawned into? Yes, we spawned into. Like, are we cooked? Are we officially cooked? And another thing that I kind of like about internet culture nowadays is I feel like the vocabulary has evolved like crazy. Like back in the day, we used to have like wrecked and stuff or swag. Now we're calling everybody goys. We're adding max after every word. We're jester maxing. All of us nowadays, bro, we're all jester maxing. Don't act like you're not jester maxing right now. adding pill after everything. We're all joke pilled. We're all internet pilled. Trust me. You know, like these things to me, I find insanely funny. You know, and back in the day, we really didn't have that. Like, I feel like that just wasn't something that you'd say to someone in person. But now it's something that people say in person. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm getting a little sidetracked, but what I'm basically trying to say is that we're missing a lot of the originality that we used to have in times like 2016, 2018. And come on, guys, 2026 is the new 2016. We're missing a lot of the originality, and I think that's because a lot of the jokes that we tell now all stem from the internet. And it's almost like we're creating this one big meme that's being bounced off across, of course, the internet, but also in real life and in interpersonal relationships. So yeah, I don't know if you guys are seeing this too. Let me know your thoughts, and I will be back in the next one.